96% of Iowans don't farm, but they hold tremendous influence on how food is grown and raised. And so our job really is to just bridge that connection and just help continue to tell the good news, the good stories about the farmers that are raising and growing our food.
Hi, I'm Brent Barnett here on Brownfield Ag News, and welcome back to another episode of the Soybean Bulletin, a content partnership with the Iowa Soybean Association. Joining us here on this program is Lydia Zerby with Iowa Soybean Association. Lydia, thanks for being here. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, tell our listeners more about yourself and your work with ISA and just some of the work you do.
Sure. So my title with Iowa Soybean is the Consumer Insights and Engagement Manager. So I've been in this role for about 4 years now. So my role is to really connect consumers to agriculture, tell the stories about farmers, and really just promote that through the Iowa Soybean Association.
Well, on this episode of the Soybean Bulletin, we're really focusing on consumer outreach and education. Whenever you hear that up front, what's that mean to you?
So really, it's just helping consumers understand where their food comes from, how it's grown and raised, and telling the story of the farmers that do it. So what we know is that 96% of Iowans don't farm, but they hold tremendous influence on how food is grown and raised. And so our job really is to just bridge that connection and just help continue to tell the good news, the good stories about the farmers that are raising and growing our food.
Why is it important to have that outreach and connect the non-ag audience with farmers and the work that they do in the ag industry?
So if consumers perceive that there's a threat to their communities or the safety of their food, they may advocate for more laws and regulations that would negatively affect the farming industry. And so really our job is to make those connections, bridge, and tell the positive stories, and so that consumers increase their trust that they have in farming and agriculture.
Do farmers also understand the importance of reaching that non-ag audience?
They do. So every year, Iowa Soybean Association does a farmer member survey. Our most recent spring survey showed that farmers ranked consumer outreach and education in the top 5 for farmer profitability and viability in the future. So they really do believe that it's important to make those consumer connections.
Let's learn about some of the consumer outreach and education initiatives that you have at ISA. The Iowa Food and Family Project. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So the Iowa Food and Family Project was started by the Iowa Soybean Association in 2011, so 14 years ago now, with that goal of bridging that consumer trust that they have in farmers and agriculture. So Iowa Food and Family Project is made up of all the Iowa commodity organizations. We have partnerships with healthy living organizations, restaurants, retailers, and just people who really believe in farming and agriculture. And so we connect with consumers through a few different ways. We have in-person events where we get to talk to consumers one-on-one. We have a Fresh Pickings magazine and newsletter where we tell stories about the good things that farmers are doing, new technologies, new advancements that they're using on their farms. We also like to share recipes, so how consumers can use Iowa-grown and inspired ingredients in their everyday meals. And then we have a lot of fun, too. So we talk about places where people can visit, just unique spots around Iowa, just really a celebration of Iowa.
What's been your experience like working with the Iowa Food and Family Project?
It's really a unique project that we have in Iowa. So the collaboration that we have between commodity organizations is really great. You know, we're not experts in every aspect of agriculture, so we can kind of lean on our friends in the other industries to tell us what's going on, what we should be highlighting, and what farmers are doing that is unique and interesting.
And your efforts, how did that all come about? How is it funded?
So funded by the commodity organizations, Iowa Soybean being the main funder and the founder. And then we also have industry partners, too, that see the importance of consumer education and so contribute that way as well.
Obviously, there's a lot that goes on for Iowa Soybean Association at the Iowa State Fair. That will be here before you know it. Can you talk with the listeners about ISA's presence at the State Fair and what all goes on?
Sure. So we have a couple different ways that we're at the Iowa State Fair. The first being the Little Hands on the Farm exhibit. So if you've ever taken your kids there, there's a green bin. And so we sponsor that green bin, and we have activities where kids can feel and touch soybeans, and they can learn about how they're present in their everyday lives. We also have Iowa Food and Family Project has an exhibit in the southeast atrium of the Varied Industries building. So a really large exhibit. This year, we're going to have a digital experience where consumers can color in a picture, and then it gets digitized into a farm scene. We also do trivia. Our spin wheel trivia is always popular. And then probably the most popular is our tote bags. So people come, they sign up for a newsletter or show us that they follow us on Facebook, and then they get one of our super popular tote bags that they can fill throughout the fair.
Why have that presence at the fair? Why is that important?
I think it serves as a reminder to consumers. Maybe they don't connect with us throughout the year, but that's kind of the one reminder that they get of what we're doing. I think people are always really interested to learn fun facts. And so we have with our spin wheel trivia, just kind of those little nuggets of information that they're able to take with them. And hopefully that sparks their curiosity and interest. And then they're more likely to follow us and engage with our activities throughout the year.
I can speak to is it Little Hands on the Farm? I can speak to that where our kids absolutely love going through there. That's one of our first destinations whenever we go.
Yes, the kids just love it. They kind of get to be a little farmer for the day, and then they spend their dollar at the end, their hard-earned dollar that they earned at the Little Hands on the Farm.
Yep, absolutely. Anything else we should add about the state fair and just the overall importance of ISA's presence there?
I think it's just a really great way to really put agriculture in the forefront. We get people from all over Iowa, the United States, and really even all over the world. And so it's just a great way to showcase whether you're in the barns visiting the animals, Little Hands on the Farm, the Animal Learning Center, seeing a calf be born. It's just a really great way to really highlight Iowa agriculture.
Lydia, before we go, let's talk about some other ISA consumer outreach initiatives. And we really want to touch on the Iowa Ag Literacy Foundation. What can you tell us about the foundation and its mission?
Yeah, so Iowa Ag Literacy Foundation creates resources for teachers that are focused around agriculture, and they center them around the Common Core standards that teachers are required to teach to. So they give them lessons, they hold teacher workshops, and really just allows them to integrate agriculture into their classroom. And so it's a really great go-to source for teachers to come up with ideas. They provide them with kits and materials. It's a really great way to engage consumers when they're young, and then they take that information back to their families, and we're able to influence them when they're in the classroom.
Yeah, what would you hope people listening would take away, or what should they know about the Iowa Ag Literacy Foundation and just kind of its importance?
So I think that, teachers are always looking for new ways to introduce curriculum, whether it's a math lesson, a reading lesson. And so to be able to integrate agriculture, especially for kids who are not living on a farm or don't have a rural background, they're able to kind of learn about agriculture in a new way, maybe relating to something that they're interested in, whether it's math or social studies. So it's just a great resource for teachers and one that we are proud to support.
Well, there's definitely going to be a lot coming up here at the state fair, as we mentioned. How can listeners and viewers stay connected with ISA and some of the consumer outreach programs that you have?
Sure. So we have our biggest way that we connect with consumers is through our Facebook. So we would love for people to like us on Facebook. We're always posting stories, doing giveaways, lots of fun things there. We also have an email newsletter, so people can sign up on our website, which is iowafoodandfamily.com. So that email newsletter comes out every month, and then you can also sign up for the Fresh Pickings magazine. It's a no-cost subscription that gets mailed right to your door monthly.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on here and providing us some great insight on a lot of these initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lydia Zerby joining us here on the Soybean Bulletin, which is a content partnership with the Iowa Soybean Association. I'm Brent Barnett with Brownfield Ag News.